Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Kev. So today I just wanted to pull an energy, and I guess it could be a collective read, but it's really just the energy for someone, right? It could be very specific or it could be for everyone. So right away what came out was the sword. And I do really feel like this is the energy of the time, right? Again, like January, I didn't feel like it was necessarily this super easy energy, and like it wasn't an easy month. I feel like it was pretty heavy. I feel like it was not only emotions that were taking over, and I mean, for me at least, I felt like I kept getting this archetype card, which was the cave, and I kept feeling like I was in the cave, like I was going in, I was going in, I was going in. And it was for a reason. And I feel like that the collective, the reason that we were going in was to now make clear decisions to cut whatever we need to cut out, right? To go forward in a direction that is going to be best for us. And that's what I feel like this reading is about. It's like someone is deciding to cut through, to break through. It could be you, it could be someone you're connected to, but it's someone deciding to break through, right? With the sword allows for a boundary. The sword allows for cutting out what doesn't belong, you know what I mean? And starting again. Again, I think the deep introspection of January, because that's how I felt, again, this cave energy. I think it was so that we could cut something out, right? Like something that we know doesn't belong with us anymore. Right? It doesn't matter if you're if you're very, very emotionally attached to something. If something's not good for you, it's not good for you. Right? And I feel like we all had those tough times where we have to like cut something out. It doesn't matter how much we love it. It doesn't matter how much we want it. It's not good for us. You know what I mean? And I think that's what this time is. It's not only putting a boundary around us, but making a clear decision in the direction that we need to move in, right? Cutting out, for everybody, it might be different. Some people are going to be cutting shit out. And I feel like others of us are, it's more about creating a boundary. But everyone, I feel like this is definitely for everyone, the sword. So let's pull more on this. So I'm getting a lot with these three cards. I feel like it's not a coincidence that they really match the archetype, right? We have the dark on the right, the light on the left, and the transformation, right? And I feel like with the sword, it is about creating boundaries. It is about clearing out what doesn't belong anymore. And I think we're on to something very new. And I think it's actually scary because we don't know what it is. Right? For a lot of us, we don't really know where it is that we're headed. We don't really know what's to come. And I think that could be the scariest thing. Going through this transformation, I think that's part of the transformation though, allowing it to be new and not know what is coming, right? Allowing to cut, maybe cutting off something very familiar for something very unfamiliar, right? It's kind of, again, this Hierophant energy where it's cutting off tradition to just allow what's meant to come to us. Again, not holding space for something specifically, but letting whatever's meant to come. And that's what's coming right now for us. I think like for whoever this reading is for, I think that's what's coming. You might, again, they don't want you to really know what it is, because for everybody, I think it's going to be really different. But I think it has a lot to do with you cutting something off. Right? Once you cut something off, then something new can come in. Once you create space for something can come in. But a lot of you guys are like, well, I don't know necessarily what I want to come in. Or I think you shouldn't really, like, you should have an idea of what you want, but I don't know if it should be something very specific. For some of you, it could be very specific, but again, not specific in the type of way where it's like, I want this specific person to look like this and be like this. Just, I want someone that's gonna love me and like protect me. You know what I'm saying? Or I want someone that's gonna love me and love everything that I am. Or I just like want a friend. Do you know what I'm saying? But you're not really labeling them, oh, it has to be a girl and they have to be my age. You know what I'm saying? It's just allowing for what's supposed to come in. And I think that's what this transformation is. I think for a long time, we've all been like holding on to things that we want specifically. And I think like they want us to let that go. It kind of has to just be whatever they want to come in for us. I think it's allowing, it's really trust, right? Allowing the trust that we have for the universe to like let them take care of it, to let them take the wheel at this point. Like I like take the wheel, right? Like, but I really feel like that's the energy right now, to just not really know what's coming next. I feel if you allow for that energy to come, whatever's meant to come to you, then it's going to be much more beautiful than whatever it was that you were holding on to that you needed to cut off. There's something that, again, I think that some of us have to cut off before this happens, because it's not allowing us to be in this full energy, holding on to whatever it is that we're holding on to. So I think that's really important. Again, the sword, to cut off what doesn't belong, right? And the sword brings truth. The sword brings clarity. Again, I feel like a lot of us are like, I can't see what's coming, so it makes me uncomfortable. But I think that's the point. I don't think we're meant to know. You know, we can watch as many tarot readings as we can, and we could try to, you know, figure out who's coming for us and what they're going to look like. And it's just, there's no point. You know what I mean? There's technically no point, because one, for everyone's going to be different. You know what I mean? And I don't think we're supposed to really know. I think it's supposed to be some sort of trust right now. And I think that's the hardest thing, to trust. I feel like for a lot of us, we're meant to be in this full energy, which is, again, to trust. I think a lot of people might think that we're being naive by, again, going in a direction that, again, it's like you've been dating someone for 10 years, right? And you just know that this person's not meant for you, but you're holding on to them, right? Whereas everybody thinks that it's like the best thing for you to do is like to be with this person. It just makes sense. You've been with this person for so long. You know that this isn't your person. You've been stalling for a very long time, right? Like, that's an example I could give you. There's an energy of like being the fool, right? Like setting up, even though it doesn't seem logical, even though it doesn't seem right, it's what feels right. Right? It's what your intuition has been telling you this entire time. It's what they've been calling you to do. You can be called to do something over and over and over again until you receive the message. And again, I feel like with the sword, it's not leaving us any more room, right? It's not leaving any more room for us to not act. So again, it's pushing us to this point where we're so uncomfortable that we have to just end something. We have to move forward. And for everybody, this is going to look different. For some of us, it's letting go of the past and just moving forward into the unknown. For others of us, it's cutting off something that we know does not belong with us. And we've been getting that intuitive vibe to stop with this thing, stop. But we've been holding on to it for convenience, or again, for what people might say if we were to let it go, right? Or again, it's the safety that it allows. But the sword is very cutthroat. This isn't a safe energy. Right? Everything here is it doesn't feel safe. It doesn't feel secure. It's not a comfort zone thing. And that's what I'm getting, especially with this fool. Like, do you see he's literally about to jump off? We have the no thingness, and we have the transformation. So again, it's not an energy of, it's not comfortable. The sword is not meant to be comfortable. And I think they're going to keep making, for those of you that have to cut something off, whether it be something from the past, whether it be a mindset, whatever it is that you have to cut off, they're going to make it feel very uncomfortable, right? And for us, and for a lot of us, it's going to be uncomfortable to hold on to that thing. Just as uncomfortable, it's going to be more uncomfortable to hold on to something that you doesn't belong to anymore than it would be to be here in the nothingness, right? Like, this is uncomfortable in a sense because we don't know what's coming, but at the same time, it allows for the potential for it to be anything, right? We can manifest anything at this point. We can manifest what's actually like good for us. Whereas if we stay where we are, if we stay in this energy of familiarity, I think that's going to be the worst thing for a lot of people. So yeah, that's what I'm getting. I'm going to pull a little bit more cards on this. So for this first pile, I definitely feel this is for some people who have been avoiding this truth, right? There's a truth that you know, like deep down, you know, there's something that doesn't feel right. There's something that just doesn't add up. There's something that you might be yearning for, and that truth is, you're hiding it, you're burying it, right? And you're just deciding to remain in a situation that you know does not suit you, right? And what happens is that it doesn't necessarily matter how much you fight for something. If it's not for you, it's not going to be for you, right? And it doesn't matter if the end comes in 10 years or if the end comes in 20 years. The ending is sure to come because it doesn't belong to you. So a lot of people wonder why things don't work out and why they're in a situation for such a long time and then things don't work out. Maybe it was never meant for you. Maybe like you pushed and pushed and pushed and it just wasn't meant for you. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think that's what this reading is it's for a lot of you about. It's like for some of you who haven't dropped it yet, right? There's a stubbornness here where you don't want to drop it because, again, you want to keep it so badly and it doesn't belong to you. And that's what I'm getting. It's going to end no matter what. You know what I mean? It's going to end no matter what. And wherever it is that this pile, like the people who haven't cut something off is, it could be like someone from the past that you need to cut off. There is no reciprocity with this person. They're not even giving you what you deserve. They're not giving you what you need. They're not giving you anything that like is for your highest good. They don't care. Do you know what I'm saying? And if they care, it might be like narcissistic. It might be manipulative. And that's what I'm getting with the Queen of Cups. It could be a feminine energy. It's someone who, it's not a party where you're at. You're not having a good time. It's not a celebration. It's actually the opposite of that. It's shitty. And it's like when you don't know how much better you can do for yourself. Right? And this is maybe coming into some sort of confidence thing where you don't know that there's something so much better for you out there, so you hold on to whatever it is that you have. But meanwhile, what you have isn't good. Like, this is not good. This isn't someone who is giving you anything in return for what you give them. This isn't someone who gives you anything even close to what it is that you deserve. And I think a lot of us have to look in and say to ourselves, why is it that we accept less than we deserve? Right? And that's where this is for someone who is in that situation. This is for someone who has to cut it off. They have to, speak their truth and leave a situation, or, end the situation with a person, end the situation with a family member. It's someone who's like sucking us dry, basically, right? And we're not seeing any harvest. We're not seeing anything grow because where we are, we're not meant to be. We're not meant to be there, and there's an absence of love. There's an absence of, it's like if I give them more, maybe they'll give me some, but they won't. Do you know what I'm saying? They'll never get to that level. And that's why I feel like it's scary to not know if there's something better for us. But I'm telling you right now, with the cards that came out, there's something definitely better. I feel like this reading is for a person who doesn't think that they can do better somewhere else, or thinks that like holding on to a past person, maybe it's a past person, maybe it's a present person, maybe it's whatever it is, whoever it is, it could be a job, it could be anything. You're not getting anything from the situation. You're not there. There's no nourishment here, right? My full moon read was a lot about nourishing, like nourishment, soul nourishment, not even like just soul nourishment, but someone, having enough money to buy the shit that you need to actually feed you, right? Like having enough money for food, basically, right? It was about how spirit is going to kind of take care of everything. And you don't really trust spirit in a sense, because like look at what comes forward, there's nothing to hold on to, there's nothing here, there's literally nothing to even look at. So it's a scary thing to trust to this extent, but I think that's what you have to do, because wherever it is that you are, it does not serve you in any way. And I feel like this message is coming out for someone who is giving to someone who does not understand you, does not see who it is that you really are, is not appreciative of who you are. And I think the divine, like spirit, does not want you to get stuck here any longer, to be here any longer. They're calling you to leave. And I think it's a really hard thing for you to do, because maybe this is all you've ever known, but this is for someone who deserves so much better. You deserve so much better. And a lot of us are already leaving those old, we're seeing the truth and we're leaving, right? And for some of us, we're still here. And I feel like, unfortunately, this is for someone who's still here. They haven't taken off yet. They haven't trusted yet. And this is for you. Like, you have to trust and you have to let go, because whatever it is that you are, you deserve a lot better than what you're getting. And again, maybe just being indecisive and letting things happen on their own. A narcissist or someone who's manipulative is never going to let you go. Do you know what I'm saying? You can wait all you want. You're like, oh, maybe I'll wait for them to like meet someone else, or I'll wait for them to like find their next victim, right? They'll never let you go. You have to understand that, especially when you're the one helping them with everything. They'll never let you go. Do you know what I'm saying? So this has to be something that you decide for yourself. It's like, I deserve better, right? For everyone. It could be any situation. You don't have to be dealing with a narcissist. You could just be dealing with someone who might be very manipulative, or someone who is not fair. Like, this is just someone who's not fair, right? I like the scale here because my Venus is in Libra, and I get this a lot. Like, this is actually something I understand, because the way that I accept and receive love, it has to be balanced, right? Like, it just has to be. For some reason, I'm not going to be the person that like, love doesn't work for me if there's no reciprocity. Do you know what I'm saying? It just doesn't work. Like, I see a red flag right when someone's just not giving me equal, there's no equal give and take. That's a major red flag for me. And for some people, your Venus might be in something different. Do you know what I'm saying? So, your Venus might be in Scorpio, your Venus might be in Virgo. And imagine your Venus in Virgo, right? Like, Virgos like to be of service, right? So that could be a problematic thing when you're someone who likes to serve, you're someone who likes to give, right? But you're not getting anything in return. You have to be careful. That's what I'm saying. You have to protect yourself. That's what the sword is about. It's about clarity. It's about seeing the truth and then putting an end to something, or seeing the truth and, doing what we need to do for ourselves. And I feel like this reading is for you. If you needed a sign that, like, you needed to get out of a situation, or if you've thought about leaving a situation and you didn't necessarily know how to or when to, I think this is the sign, because where you are, I feel like it's a facade, right? It's somebody dressed up very nicely, but you know those people who, they have like the nicest clothes and they have like the nicest shoes and the nicest car, but then they open their mouth and they're just like right? And it's all the front. Like, they have nothing good to say. They're not interesting. They might, like, even, you know what I mean? It's like all a facade, but they dress so beautifully, and it's like an enchantment. Yeah, my doorbell just rang. Yeah, it's an enchantment, right? It's like someone put a spell over you, over like maybe the way they look and the way they, like, what they have, their possessions, but it's all fake. And that's what I'm getting with this Queen of Cups and this Three of Cups in reverse. It seemed like something really beautiful, and it's not. You know what I mean? And I think that's where you got tricked by maybe someone's beauty, maybe by someone's, again, maybe someone's they have a lot of possessions, and that kind of fooled you, right? Because I'm seeing a lot of gold, right? I'm like thinking of gold now, and I think that could have been something that deceived you, right? Like someone's actual outside appearance, right? Somebody had a nice car. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, this person kind of fooled you, and you don't have to be mad at yourself. You know what I mean? You don't have to be mad at yourself. You can just move on to another cycle. Again, this is what it looks like, right? It was like, well, if I move on, I'm not talking to anyone, right? I'm single. I'm going to be single. And I feel like this has a lot to do with relationships for some reason, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. It could just be a job. It could just be a family member who takes advantage of you. But it's the not knowing that makes people, I think, afraid. And it's not just people, it makes me afraid too, to not know what's coming next. But there's this trust, right? Cutting things off that don't belong anymore, and then just trusting that something better is going to come for us. And I don't know who this is for, but I think this is for someone who really needed to hear that they deserve better, that the truth is, I feel like whatever this truth is, it is what it is. Whereas you can't fake it. You can't try to manipulate the situation. It's a concrete, like, black and white thing, right? And there's so much gray in a lot of situations. It's like, oh, you can fight either way. For this, you cannot. There is no reciprocity here. I don't think this person, for whoever it is, this job or this person, is ever going to change, right? And again, whether the ending comes for you and this person or you in this job in 10 years and 20 years, it will definitely come to an end. But you can be the one to say, I don't want this anymore. You know what I mean? Move forward towards something that you don't know. You have no idea. Again, for a lot of people, they don't have that luxury to, like, just move towards a job and not receive an income. Do you know what I'm saying? So I get, for a job, how different it could be, how hard it could be. Especially even partners who are married who, you rely a lot on someone else's income, right? There's not the ease of just leaving. But I feel for a lot of you, you know that it's time. It's been time for a long time. And you're ready. You know what I mean? You're ready. And I think you're scared, but you're ready. You're ready to get what you really deserve. right? And what you deserve is anything that your heart desires, right? With this black card, it symbolizes the potential for anything you want. Like, they want you to use your imagination and say, like, what do you want this to be? You know what I'm saying? What do you want this to be for your life? Where do you want your life to take you? Do you know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be a box where you stay in the box. It could be anything. So what's really interesting is, like, at the bottom of this deck, we have the One. And under that, we have the Mother. And that's exactly where I feel like you're headed. If you're able to let this go, if you're able to take whatever you've learned from this cycle and move forward, you're going to meet the actual person that I feel like you're meant to meet, right? You're going to meet the actual mother, the actual nurturer, the true love, right? Not the Queen of Cups in reverse who fakes it, right? Who says it's going to be like that and it never was, right? The one that you know, keeps you bound by, oh, well, you don't have enough money to really be on your own, so I guess you kind of have to stay with me, right? Sometimes we get put in these positions in life where we need something from someone else and we're weak, right? And then we give whatever we need to give to someone so that we can feel secure. And I feel like for a lot of us, it's about maybe being a little bit, I don't want to say homeless, but in the wind, right? Not depending on whatever this was, whoever it was that was feeding us like this fake food, right? It's actually someone, we're going to meet the person that's actually going to nourish us now, right? And I think a lot of us in the collective have been in relationships where we go from one person to another person to another person, and they're all the same, right? They're all the same in one way or another, right? It's reminding me of a Stranger by Jean Aoki. I don't know how to say her name. But yeah, it's like meeting the same person over and over and over. It's time to kind of get off this loop and go towards this. And I think that starts with believing in yourself, seeing the truth and letting that be the guide, right? And not being scared to go towards this, right? We don't know where we're going. We don't know who we're going to meet here, but I'm telling you, it's so much better than this shit that you're dealing with right now. Like, I promise you it's better. If you're seeing this reading today, then this is a sign for you that I feel like for a lot of you, it's a person. For a lot of you, it could be a family member. For a lot of you, it could be a job. But we deserve so much better. And we're headed in that direction. But again, it takes the leap. It takes being the fool. Whatever you created with this person is going to end eventually. You can be the catalyst and be like, you know what? This could be the catalyst, and it's just like, you know what? I want to end it today. Right? Like, end this shit today. This is not fair to you at all. And I think you see that, and that's why you need to cut it off. And I think a lot of us, we don't really see how much we really deserve. We give people a lot, especially in this community. I feel like we overgive. It's an overgiving community, right? It's people who, you're here because, like, you probably overgave in a situation and didn't get back in return. Or you probably, we're dealing with a lot of people in this community, but I definitely feel like there's a lot of us who overgive, or people who were like susceptible to manipulative people, right? And I think that's where we put the end to it, because I feel, again, like the one and the mother, like the real thing is coming and you want to be there for it, right? Like, you don't want to be stuck in this shit. So yeah, I feel like this is, if you're seeing this reading, I never say that, like, oh, if you see this reading, it's a sign, but I think for real, like, if you're seeing this reading, then this is a sign for you to, whoever it is that you're with, or whatever situation it is that's holding you back right now, you already know what the truth is. You already see the fact that it's not an equal give and take, and I think it's time to put an end to it and to just trust in what's coming, right? I didn't mean to, like, make this a love thing, but it ended up kind of being that. It doesn't necessarily have to be. It could just be like the love from a mother, the love from, like, a family member, the love that we receive from a job. Again, I think it's just it's like time to stop putting in effort where there's going to be no growth anyway. There's not going to be growth here anyway. Do you get me? So yeah, I hope this helps someone. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.